This podcast is called Low Frequency because that's where we at. We below media, below industry, below politics, but we talk about all of it. This is an open space, not for the closed mind. Yes, today, family, cuz, JR, extravagant background, medical, all that shit. Matter of fact, tell him a little bit of your background, just a little bit. Don't give him too much.
Not to give too much. My name's Jeff. I'm from South Carolina. Well, originally from South Carolina. I was raised in Arkansas with my dad, so I've got a military background. I've been in the Army 15 years now. Still active in the Army. I've been in the medical field 15 years. So I started out as a surgical technician. Went into nursing school. So I've been nursing about 6 years now.
It's
pretty much it.
Right? And that's what made me, because you got the whole medical thing going on, and the whole reason of you coming to New York was this whole crazy situation going on and all of that. So it's made me want to ask you, like, how's the hospitals looking? Now that, you know, everything, it seems like you're on your way back, so I wanted to know, how do you think, like, how's the hospitals looking right now?
Well, so when I got here, like you said, I initially came for the Corona Relief Act, and I came with a lot of the FEMA nurses. I was on the first wave, so I got here in March, and I've been here 3 months now, actually going to be leaving tomorrow. So when I initially got here, it was during the height of the pandemic. You know, a lot of people, this is a lot of people dying. You know, a lot of people sick, a lot of people affected.
I remember you said that you didn't see anything like this before.
Yeah, man, I've never in my life seen anything like this. And so I've said it on a lot of my social media that I've been to Iraq, I've been to Afghanistan, and my first 21 days here in New York, I've seen more people die in those 21 days than I've seen in Iraq and Afghanistan combined. So that's people, and it's like a slap in the face of the people that's come here to help, for people to think that
it could be a change.
That it's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I still have people back home asking me, is it fake or is it just,
It's a lot of propaganda that's going around with, because there's a lot of people not taking it serious.
Right.
And you have people not wearing masks, and it's because there's the CDC and the health people, they come out with these little quote unquote stories of, like, I remember they said that asymptomatic people don't it's rare for them to transmit it to someone else. And then it's like they're like, oh, but you still have to wear your mask, So it's like when they give out things like that to the public, it could steer them off just a little bit. But the threat is, it's definitely here. Because I mean, you can't say someone could go to the hospital sick, ill, right? Because that's happening 24/7. That's gonna happen regardless. But due to this, you can't say that that's not a reason, Because like due to this, it's double now. It's extra or triple. Yeah, right.
Quadruple.
And it's like you can't not see the change, because I remember there's hospitals do get overrun, that happens, but at the extreme rate that it's been happening, it's like you have to take it to some degree that something's happening.
Yeah, nobody's ever seen nothing like this, man. So this is not normal, nothing that's a normal event. No one in their right mind who would be here and seen the things that I've seen would think that this is fake or not real or it's just no way it's happening.
Now that it seems like, because now it seems that the city, I can't speak for other places, but the city, it seems like we're entering phase 2 and things are starting to open back up with the stores and such. Do you feel like Like, 'cause now that you're transitioning over back to Arkansas,
Right.
do you feel like things are getting better?
Well, I would say due to the extreme lockdown, the precautions that were taken initially, everything is starting to be better because we did the social distancing thing and everybody started staying at home. So when I got here, there was like no one in the streets. I've got videos of me just walking the streets. When I first touched down, I said, all right, I'm gonna get out and walk the streets. And I went maybe 4 or 5 blocks before I could ever find anybody, before I saw anybody. And I know I hadn't been to New York. Last time I came to New York, I was like 9 years old. But I remember.
I was gonna say,
like the streets were.
Yeah, from your last memory of how things were.
Yeah, I remember.
Like a totally new place.
Yeah, it was like a ghost town, man. And whenever I posted the videos, it's like you could see the reactions of people like, wow, there's nobody.
And you were downtown too.
Yeah, I was in Manhattan. I was in right off Times Square, like 39th or something like that, right off Times Square. And so, I mean, it's like even walking through Times Square, I was maybe 4 or 5 people, And so due to the social distancing and all of the extreme measures, it slowed down a lot, So I would contribute that to, the reason why we're not seeing as many patients as we're seeing. But also, the fact that the city is starting to open up now and starting to with all the riots and everything, and not riots, protests, with all the protests and stuff that's going on right now, a lot of people that's not wearing a mask, we started to see an increase in numbers again. So
with all of the people gathering up in groups.
Right, with no masking. I keep my mask and everything too, but don't have it on now so that you can hear me clearly. But
that's not a good sign. Like towards your last days here, you started seeing a spike again.
Starting to see. I don't say spike. It's you got to be careful with my words, so because you don't want to, but we're starting to see an increase in numbers. Also, you have to take in consideration that some of those numbers are due to injuries because protests or just the fact that more people are getting back out into the city, more people are starting to have issues because they're back out in the city. So, of course, our patient loads will start to increase, but we're also starting to see an increase in the coronavirus.
Yeah, so I was worried about that with seeing all of the protests come about and everybody gathering up. I was worried about that because I was watching Cuomo, the mayor and stuff. I was watching him talk about how he was feeling enlightened about things and the progression, and it is surprising on how fast, like, because people, like we were talking about earlier, about people doubting the whole thing, and it's like how fast people, like a lot, not as much as we should have gotten, but it was a lot of people that did follow the social distancing.
Right, it was an extreme amount. I mean, I was surprised to see it. Like I said, it was a ghost town.
Right, so that does speak a lot to how much people want things to continue, and there is a good amount of people that took it serious.
Yeah, absolutely. And even the fact that, just the stores and everything were participating. So even if there were people that didn't want to do it, they didn't have any place to go. So, they were just staying at home.
Yeah. So with everything opening back up and everything, I do hope that, with the protests and stuff, I hope everything simmers down eventually, and we can get back to the larger picture, health.
Right.
Because there are things, the issues and stuff, that is important, and certain things do need to be heard, and I don't want to say there's a time and a place, because the way things are going, it's like things need to happen now, and it could feel like with everything happening, with the police and stuff, it could feel like you need to go out there and say something now, regardless of the whole social distancing thing. You want to go out there, you want to get your voice heard, and you want to feel like you're doing something, because sitting in the house could feel like you're not doing anything and you're just letting things happen, right? So
I'm just hoping that with everything transpiring and hopefully laws get made and hopefully, some more good news comes out and everything can just start to simmer and get back to people social distancing, wait until this thing really dies out. Speaking of, I've heard that it's a chance that it could come back. Like, this isn't something that I was watching another video of another doctor, and he was saying this isn't something that it comes and then it's just gone. Like, this is something that we could potentially look at as a new flu, in a sense that it could come and it could go, but it could come back stronger.
Well, being it is a virus, and we don't have an active vaccine for it right now. There's really no way that we could stop from getting it again. With viruses, you can actually get affected again. I mean, so your body will build up antibodies or will recognize it as a threat. Excuse me. Excuse me.
It's okay.
So, I mean, it's very likely that if with everybody, being out in the public and not participating in social distance and stuff like that, we could see, the numbers will increase. And there's an example of that in Florida right now. So, Florida and the states that opened back up, Florida, Georgia, where the numbers are starting to increase again, you're starting to see actual panic because the numbers are getting higher than we're starting to set record numbers for each day.
Do you think the solution to that is another lockdown?
Absolutely, until we get some kind of protection, because right now we have no protection against it. It's a virus, so we can't stop ourselves from getting it. And once we get it, or if we're affected with it, there's no really way to get rid of it until it has to run its natural course. So until we get some kind of vaccine or antivirus or some kind of treatment.
Yeah, that stay home as best as you can, man.
Absolutely.
Only go off essential. So we was talking about the protests and everything that's been going on with the police and stuff like that. And given your military background, I wanted to ask, do you feel sympathy towards the cops? With everything going on, do you feel some part of you, and I know it touches close to home given, our race and everything going on in the streets, but not everybody that looks like us has that military background. So I know someone like you would have a different perspective on it as just a normal person going about it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good question, man. So, my perspective is different because I do have a military background, and I do realize that there are cops, there are people in the force that are actually there for the right purpose. They're not trying to hurt nobody. They're just here to help. There are people that grew up as kids saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna be a cop," and that's what they did. So they're not out to get. There's no agenda to kill black people. And the issue that I have is that even with me being in the military, I've experienced racism in the military. So
within your own, or you just mean in general?
Oh, I mean, yeah, just against me, or against some other people in my unit or my platoon, or just from either be it either from someone higher ranking than me or someone of the same rank. I've experienced there's racism in the military, so I am still sympathetic to the fact that it's out there. That it's, even though I'm in the military, I'm not a cop, so I can't really speak for that aspect. But in every organization in the United States, there's going to be some form of racism based off of our society, just based off of where we came from, the laws that are already in place. It's just not set up for people of color.
And I was talking to my bro about this not too long ago. How do you think about the mindset of your average cop? Would you consider them to have to be a certain type of level-headed to even pursue that job, or would you say that's something that you can evolve throughout the years?
That's a hard question because I can't really speak for the mindset of somebody else because there are people that are out there that we would consider racist that they don't really know that they're racist, or things that they're doing to be perceived as racism. So it could be, they grew up like that. Yeah, we always grow up saying this or doing like this, or and it could just be. I mean, I would say I'm a type of person that give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You're gonna have to really show me that you're a bad person or you're a racist in order for me to just label you as such.
Yeah.
So, I know for a fact that even in the military, so I have one of my soldiers, I'm a platoon sergeant, so one of my soldiers in my rank, in my squad, first squad, said that he didn't really realize that some of the things that he was doing was perceived as racist. And he actually messaged me because of all of the things that are going on. He wanted
this may have backtracked the things that...
just basically everything that's going on. He apologized. Like, he sent me a message on Facebook, and it really brought me to tears, man, because...
How long were you guys...
Oh, I've known him for 10, 12 years. We actually went to Afghanistan together. I was his NCOIC when we were in Afghanistan. And
all these years to have something like that shake
for this happening. And that's basically a lot of what the movement is about, like getting people to open their eyes, you know what I'm saying? So that fact that he is now aware of this, and now he's gonna change himself, he's gonna act accordingly, you know what I'm saying? So now he's gonna raise his daughter differently,
That's a massive change.
He's gonna, affect the people around him. He's gonna affect his friends. So now when one of his friends acts like the way he was acting, he's gonna say something. He's gonna just those little changes helps the culture, helps the society, helps everyone.
And so many of my friends of the same race, they like, and I get both sides. I get the side where it's like certain people are just now coming aware to how it can be and how hard it can be to live this type of life. And I also get the side where it's like they should have known, you know what I mean? Like, it's so blatant. It's so many different examples and different stories of something happening. It's almost like if you had your eyes closed to it, or you didn't, you just chose not to look down that path.
I mean, if you grow up in it, this is not the new. So, obviously we've been going through these things since the 60s, 40s. It's been always the same. So if your parents grow up in it and you grow up in it, it's not really nothing that you can just open your eyes and see right off the bat, because this is how things are. So I give an example. When we were being here in New York, so I'm the team leader for Kings County and Brooklyn. I have the nurses that are the travel nurses that were assigned to Kings County following me, and so we were all riding the bus together. We were all at the same hotel. We were riding the bus going back
That must have been hard. You coming in and just having to give orders like that to people that...
I really didn't. I wasn't looking forward to kind of being in charge or anything. But I guess my military background, I kind of people kind of see that.
You have that leadership.
I kind of come off as like a leadership type. It was hard, so I accepted it. We did it. But what I was saying was we were on our way home. I'm just giving an example of how people weren't aware of the situation. It's like we're on our way home, and our bus driver, she got pulled over. She was speeding. She's kind of heavy-footed. So when the cop pulled us over, he came up to the window, and one of my buddies, this is Jeremy, he's a white guy. and he was like, oh man, they'll let her go. They'll let her go because because she's transporting nurses and blah blah blah.
And used to all
and the
of
driver
his,
is white.
and used to all of his interactions with the police.
Right, all of his interactions. Right. So just to basically showing you how there's two different worlds that no one even knew. So he was like, oh yeah, he'll give her a warning or whatever, he'll let her. And I'm just sitting back. So when the police officer came up to the driver and talked to her, got her license and information and whatever, he walked back to the car, and we can see him in the car. We're in the back of the bus, so we can see him, and he's getting his book and all that. It looks like he's writing a ticket, And Jeremy was like, whoa, man, no, he looked like he's writing a ticket. Like, hey, let's go say something. And so my buddy Jeremy, another white female, he said, hey, let's go say something. Let's go tell him. Because the windows are tinted, so he doesn't really know, the police officer doesn't know that this is a bus full of nurses. And, I ain't gonna say we've been getting the royal treatment, but we have been getting the royal treatment here in New York. Wherever we go, it's like applause and everything. So they just knew that we were gonna get out of this ticket. And so the fact that we went, they got off of the bus to go and talk to the police officer. And as they were getting off, it was like, Jeff, you're our team lead. Come on. And I said, I'm not getting my black ass off of this bus.
You already know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not going up to no police car. I don't know what y'all go ahead. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that it was a joke. I was saying it jokingly at the time.
Yeah,
but I really meant it. I wasn't getting off of that bus. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they were like, oh yeah.
They wouldn't understand why.
Right.
Like
that
why.
I was serious. So when they got back on the bus, and I was like, hey, what happened? He was like, oh yeah, he's gonna throw the ticket out. I'm just like, oh okay, I'm glad y'all were able to do that.
Yeah.
And so
they were able to
at
do
that moment. Yeah, they. So at that moment, with all of this going on, I can tell because he didn't even say nothing about it then. It was like 2 or 3 days later. He said, man, Jeff, I keep going back to what happened on the bus, like how you didn't want to get off the bus. And I felt so entitled to, I should get off this bus, and we needed to do that.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you
It didn't
would
even
not get off
register.
that, it didn't register then. Like we are living two totally different lives on this same bus. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get off this bus, and I'm willing to take that ticket. You know what I'm saying? Whereas he was not willing to take the ticket, and he's gonna go up and say something. I wouldn't dare get off of this bus and go and approach a cop car and tap on the window and say, no way, man, no way. I'll just take the ticket.
Yeah.
$200, $300, yeah, that's cool.
That was a clear example of how
we're definitely living
two different.
We're living in two different Americas.
And like with everything going on now, it seems like there's a chance where both sides could, like one side could start to see what the other is like.
I would say with those two people, the white girl and the white guy that got off the bus, when the protests start, any days they were off, they were protesting. They were right there with it.
That's amazing.
And their social media feeds changed to indicate that they realized the change. And so
that's great. That's awesome when that type of stuff happens. Especially when you have like stories that's real close to heart like that, where it's like it happened to you, because there's a lot of people that they just want to do the right thing.
Right.
But when it's like when it hits you and it's that impactful, it means that much more, and it's what we want. We want more people to fully understand as much as they can, and not try to. Well, as long as if it's good intent, then I guess it's okay. If it's good intent, I guess it's okay for you to do the right thing. But there's a lot of people, because like, I don't know if you've probably paid attention to it, like there's a lot of, with these businesses that they'll shut down a business, or they would, once the protests and stuff happened, it was a lot of businesses, a lot of clothing stores and stuff like that. They would go on the internet or shut their business down for X amount of time or X amount of days, all over. And just like they say they will do it in goodwill for the protests and stuff like that. And it's like, that could like it can be used as capitalism. It can be used like that because it's like when you do that, especially with everything that's going on right now, like with all of the stores closed because of the pandemic and them not having to be able to make money. When you do something like that, it allows the public to view this store because it's not like it's every store doing it. So when your store decides to do it, it allows the public to view your store like if it's bigger, like if it's it will bring more traction. You get what I mean? Into your store. So people can use it as a business tactic and people can use it as good intent. That's what I'm saying. Both sides does get the message across, but it's like it works better when it's good intent and it's like impactful and it's like something personal, and that's why you're going to go to the protest, or that's why you're gonna write a message, or you're gonna stop doing something, you know? It feels better that way.
I see what you're saying, but at the same time, not having a reaction is also taking a stance as well. So if you're silent, it's just not.
I would rather that. I would rather that. Sometimes
I don't think I would, man. Even if you're silent, it's because it doesn't help the cause if you're silent. Because silence actually gives a sense of it's okay. You know, so if I say a man right here coming and knock you out right now, well, if I don't say nothing, the next time you feel the urge to do it, he's gonna come up and knock you out. But if he come and do it, bam, hit you, and I stand up, yo, man, don't hit my cuz like that, bro, blah, blah, blah. Even if I don't put hands on him, if I say something, the next time he gonna think twice. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you don't, even if you make a little gesture is, okay, we're gonna stay closed, or we could say Black Lives Matter on our website. You know what I'm saying? Just that is enough, you know, in some instances.
Yeah. When you put it in that light, that makes a lot of sense.
So, I mean, being silent is actually helping the people that are doing the wrong things.
I guess I only meant the silent thing because you've heard the phrase, if you don't have nothing nice to say.
Don't say nothing at all.
And there's people that put their foot in their mouths, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, not to get political, but Trump does that shit all the time. Like, he would say something and not to know his intention or anything like that, but who's to say? He could have good intentions behind it, but the way he delivers and the way he speaks, it's like, you know? But no, but I get exactly what you mean, because saying something is better than saying nothing when it comes to this. Especially things that affect a generation. Right? Things that affect us this much, we have to say something. But you're going back home, about done with the city, so talk to me. I wanted to know. You've been out here for a little bit, you know, and how you like the food? Because I know you was living and eating a certain way out there in Arkansas, so
Yeah.
out here, man, how you like it?
You know what? I can't even put an honest sense on it because everything's been closed down and I've been hectic.
You can't get the full experience.
Yeah, I really can't. I can't get it, man. The first time I saw a hot dog stand was open was today.
Wow.
So the fact that, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I ain't
And those are flooded downtown.
Yeah,
There's so many, so yeah.
I saw one today and I was like, yo, it's a hot dog. I was thinking about, yo, New York hot dogs. I was like, nah, I ain't even gonna try it, you know, just to hold it down, you know. So I've been kind of being pretty picky about what I eat and where I eat, or, you know, trying to keep myself, healthy so that I can get back home.
Man, it's a bittersweet feeling, man. Because I know you was probably thinking about coming up here for a long time. And when you got the news that you was coming up here, it's like, it was good, but in the back of your head, you probably think about the reason on why you coming up here.
Well, you know, I'm a soldier, man. Like I'm it's in me. Like I'm not afraid to be out there, be on the front lines, because that's kind of what I do. You know, it's like ingrained in me. So the fact that New York needed help was the initial reason why I started thinking, man, I think I'm gonna go to New York. But because I know people are afraid, and if I'm one of the people that aren't, then I feel the sense
Like a
of,
rub off.
I feel like I should do it because no one else would. So if I didn't come, then that would be, I have to think about all of the patients that would not have had care because I wasn't here. All you can do is look out the window or whatever, you know.
We really
I can
feel
go out
it
in my
right
backyard and still be social distance. Me and
Yeah.
my neighbor, we talking through the backyard, you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
talking through the backyard, we having cookouts, you know, but just socially distant. You know, I'm in his yard, I'm in my yard, he in his yard, we chit-chatting or whatever. But
That's a different feel.
it's definitely different.
Entirely. Like it would make you feel more okay about the whole quarantine.
It's not as hard to follow the rules if you're not in. Yeah, I can definitely see why people would not want to be. You know,
Just out here because everybody's so used to the gotta get and going, gotta get
Yeah.
going.
yeah.
And now that everything is so calm now, it's like some people take it good. Some people take it good,
Yeah.
but the people that's all about the hustle and bustle, they want to move, get everything back how it was.
Back home when everything started slowing down, I was like, well, shoot, I'm gonna plant a garden, you know. So I went out in the backyard and built a little garden and started, you know, and now we got.
That's awesome.
So the fact that I can move around, do stuff, so that's why. That's one of the reasons I believe that New York was affected a lot more because, you know, the space is not there for that.
Yeah, you gotta try to stay productive.
You guys are living a lot closer. And that's a lot easier to get affected.
Yeah, over here, because we're all on top of each
Yeah,
other.
right on top of each
With the transit system and stuff like that, forget about it. It's, that's why we needed the help. That's why we needed the help.
Well, with that, I'm gonna sign off on a low frequency. Love everybody coming out, supporting, subscribe, tune in for episode. What was this? I think this was 5. Tune in for episode 6, coming to you real soon. Thanks JR for coming through.
No doubt, cuz.
Appreciate it. We out this.
Stay safe.